Welcome my singing friends to the third in the series Quick Tips for Singers. In this video we shall explore how it should feel when you sing. In less than 2 minutes you'll be able to sing along with me to experience tension-free singing. If the answer to the question what should singing feel like is unknown to the singer, there is sure to be some anxiety around singing due to the singer not knowing if they are, air quote, doing it right. This will impede and get in the way of tension-free, joyful singing. Let's begin by taking a look at how singing should not feel. Singing should never feel like it is complicated with too many technical parts that get in the way. Singing should never be confusing to the singer or ever create unwanted tension in the throat or the body. Singing is an expression of self and as such should feel like part of you rather than something technical you are doing. It should be enjoyable and tension-free and fully supported by the diaphragm. The sounds you make should feel like they're coming from your body, not your throat. Right, let's now work together performing exercises that will enable you to experience open throat and tension-free singing. Let's do it.
Hello folks, Dave the singing coach here. You would have seen in the last part of the video we've discussed how it should feel to sing, which is a bit of a weird thing really to have to discuss. It's only because we've maybe emulated other singers or simply tried too hard or been too technical that we created tension in the first place. I remember having to undo my singing and take a lot of the technical practice out of it, just so I could feel the joy of singing again. And as we discussed, it should feel like your body is creating, your engine is creating the sound, not your throat, when in fact, physiologically, obviously your throat, your vocal cords are in there and they do produce a sound. But we want to take the strain off your throat and make sure that your engine's working hard, not your throat. So the first exercise is an exercise simply called yaw, and we're going to go up on a major arpeggio on a yaw sound. Now, the whole time we're doing this, I want you to fundamentally understand what it is we're supposed to be thinking. And what you're supposed to be thinking is, how relaxed am I? Places to check, your tongue stem under there. If that stiffens, that's going to create tension, get in the way of your singing. If your larynx rises too high, that's going to get in the way of your singing. If you're physically stiff and not relaxed, that's going to get in the way of your singing. So it's really difficult, isn't it? When I'm a vocal coach telling you to do certain things, you're almost certainly going to overthink it and actually create tension just because of that. So once you've understood any exercise that you do, that you're taught, you need to switch us off, sit on your own in your room and do the exercise and really understand what it's for and experience it yourself. So the first note we're going to sing is from here. That's fairly low for a male. Females start an octave higher. We're going to do an arpeggio on a yaw sound. So what I need you to do is really hang dog in the face, okay? And we're going to make the yaw sound, but with minimal jaw movement. I nearly said without jaw movement, but that would be ridiculous. So we open our mouth and we're going to say yaw, 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 yaw. And you can see my tongue moving up and down at the back. The front of my tongue is pretty much against my lower teeth. So whenever you're ready, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yaw, 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 yaw. 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 Just little pause. Checking here. Relax. Yaw, 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 yaw. And as you can see, I'm cutting those notes off very quick staccato. That gives us less chance to mess up. And you know you're doing that exercise right if you feel completely like your throat is a vessel for the sound and it's coming from your engine down here in the diaphragm. So experiment with that exercise, take your time, it could take a while. A lot of people feel that straight away though. So once you've connected with the free sound there and you feel like it's tension-free singing, every time you sing, I suggest you do that just to remind you what singing should feel like. If you sung a couple of songs and you're starting to feel a bit tense, go back to this exercise and that will remind you again what tension-free feels like. The next one is opening things up a bit more for volume. And we're just going to make a hard ah sound, but with a soft l to start. And that's going to open things up. You'll see my tongue do the opposite of what it did previously, and the front might open up, and that's me basically getting the tongue out of the way so I've got a nice free open sound. All the same things apply. The whole time you're singing, how relaxed can I be? At this point, we're assuming that your diaphragm and support is good. If it's not, you need to go back and work on that. But once that's all connecting, you're taking nice belly breaths just before each sound. You just need to then relax into the sound and enjoy it and just feel it coming out like it's nothing. So the same arpeggio, we're going to slide it this time as one note. So I'm going to play that and then we're just going to go la. It's very important that you don't try to oversing, not too much vibrato. Don't worry about that stuff. This isn't what it's about. It's about experiencing tension-free singing. And it's a hard ah, not an R. Here we go. Okay, again, if you feel like you're doing that right, you will feel completely tension-free and like your throat's got nothing to do with it. So practice these things over and over again, but whilst you're practicing, just remember the ethos of why you're doing it, to feel relaxed, open throat singing. Singing is a joy. Speak to you soon. Bye.
Thanks so much for watching. I'd be very grateful if you could like and subscribe. If you want to work with me personally, get in touch via www.ddthesingingcoach.com.